Hello, this is Justin. You may know me as Yamcha Games on the UFE forums. In this video, I will give you a quick overview of the upcoming features of the 1.5 build of Universal Fighting Engine. I won't go into too much detail on each feature, as we will soon have videos and tutorials for many of the new options. So let's get started. The first major addition to UFE is the inclusion of AI. You'll see that there are two AI engines to choose from, Random AI or Fuzzy AI. Random AI is included with 1.5 for all versions. Fuzzy AI is a special AI that actually works for any game, not just UFE, and will be available as an add-on via the asset store and other sources UFE is currently available in. What's cool to note about Fuzzy AI is you can set AI definitions for styles of play. You'll notice I have mix up for Mike, and just looking for it. For Kyle, I've got Rushdown playing. Looking at the game view, you'll notice the new debug viewer. While using AI, what's handy is you can see the weight for each decision the AI makes. The debug viewer is also useful for your own debugging. You can see what state the character is in, what inputs are pressed, and other useful information. You can even decide what debug information you want to see. My favourite new feature is the throw hit confirm type, and this implementation is great. I'm not going to show you how to create throws, but I will show you something I think is cool, and you will get to see some of the GUI changes as well. Looking here in hit conditions, you will see I can set this throw to only grab standing opponents, airborne, downed, stunned, or any combination of these. Let's quickly make this throw part of a combo. Before I start, I'm just going to change the input for throw attempt. With the screen capture on, some commands are harder to perform. I know that Robot Kyle doesn't use button 3, so I'll make that the dedicated throw button. Let's test this.
Round 1. Fight.
Okay, button 3 works as a throw. And as per normal, I cannot combo this after heavy punch. Let's go into heavy punch. I don't need input panel now. Open chain moves and links, add a new link, adjust the frames. It doesn't matter exactly where this is, but I'll make it pretty good. I know the active frames for heavy punch are from 17, so I'll start the link just before. Then we find the throw attempt move. Notice I'm using the attempt, not the confirm. Okay, that should be it. Let's test.
Round 1. Fight.
Okay, so what's going on here? It's definitely linking, as you can see the heavy punch animation cancel, but the throw is not connecting. Oh, I know what it is. I forgot to set a hit condition of stunned, so now we'll try again. And yep, it combos. This is good for making King of Fighters style combos into grabs.
Round 1. Fight.
For this bit, I've just gone in and changed the throw hit collider on Kyle. It's a bit shorter, so the throw whiffs. I'll pause it here so you can see how the hurt box of the throw is just missing the red hitbox of the opponent. I'll just go in and expand this rectangle, and while I'm in there you'll see a couple of options. Follow bounds and how you can size the rectangles with X, Y, W and H. Of note, W and H can still be changed if you're using follow bounds. Last point I need to mention here, for your character to be throwable, they will need a throw collider assigned.
Round 1. Fight.
You may have also noticed the giant X delete button is gone. It's replaced with a nice feature, the copy paste remove panel. This panel now lets you reorder any list. This is great, but just remember that any list's order has no bearing on priorities or anything like that. It's purely for your own organizational benefit. There's also a nice duplicate feature, which is handy for hitboxes. Other than the new AI, I think the Move editor probably got the most obvious visual change. One major thing here that isn't explicit is some house cleaning and rearranging. You'll notice the general panel is much cleaner now. Gauge meter options has its own panel, and player conditions replaced stand and crouch etc. state from the old system, and adds more functionality too. One of the biggest updates to the Move editor is the new cinematic options. There are now 3 methods for creating cinematics. The old method of editing the camera path manually got a big revamp. You can also use an animation clip, or you can use a prefab. We'll have an in-depth tutorial on cinematics soon. As I mentioned before, player conditions now lets you control under what conditions a move can be triggered. So if the conditions aren't met, the move will not trigger. Good for throws that only work up close, or say a move that's only available while knocked down. To demonstrate, I'll change the range for this throw. Have a look at the game view here. With the input display, you'll see I'm pressing the throw command, but nothing is coming out because I'm not meeting the distance condition for the move. I can then change the distance condition so it only comes out very far. But of course the throw won't connect at that distance. I'll just quickly return this back to normal. Opponent override is a new feature. This will be your major component for creating throws, as you will need to override the opponent during the throw animation. Watch for a tutorial on throws soon. Projectile options got a big revamp too. Options have been moved around to more appropriate sections now. And of course you can use rectangles for your collisions here too. The preview button now allows you to see the projectile in the scene, showing the hurt boxes and blockable area. Just remember that if your projectile is not the parent object of the prefab, like in this one, you'll need to expand it to see the particle effect as well. This is just a small addition, but I won't dedicate a whole video to it, so I'll mention it here. You can now set your own text alerts during moves. Useful if a character might have something unique about them, and maybe it will be fun to have a message display on screen. Here I'm checking the active hit of the move. I want this to appear just after it hits, so I'll set the frame a little later and add my message. We'll play the game and I'll hit a few times to get the super.
Round 1. Fight.
And here I'll flail about trying to execute the power hit. Oh, what was that command? And there we go. You can see the message displayed. I'll just quickly remove this. The final thing worth mentioning is the complete overhaul we're doing for all the documentation. Some of the more astute of you may have noticed recent changes getting a hammering lately. Updated documentation should be ready now, if not very soon. We've even added a few extra pages, like a throw creation guide, to help everyone get up to speed on using those features. So that's it for this overview of the upcoming features of UFE 1.5. We hope you enjoy using it and make great fighting games soon.